your Excel 0 is going to be really near the top because it's due. It's one of the first things that's due. So you click on this, and then you click on the link. You guys all seem like relatively young people, so it shouldn't be too hard. I was working with somebody yesterday that was really struggling with the computer part of this. So when you click on that, you download it. And this is the Excel 0. Okay, so there's two sheets. I don't know how much you've used Excel, but here's some basic things about Excel. Number one, the tabs are at the bottom. So if there's multiple sheets, then you can click on the sheets and you'll see different things, okay? A sheet is just basically a big grid of boxes. And every box has a name. So for instance, this top left box, the name is A1. Why is the name A1? Because it's in column A and I'm in row 1. And you see it here, it says A1. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to these yellow boxes, and you might have to click enable editing to get into the part where you can change the numbers. And I just want you to change these numbers. This is the standard weighting system for our class. It's the one that's listed in the syllabus. It's the one the state told me I have to use. You're going to change these scores, and when you change these scores, let's say you don't do well on exam 1, you're going to see how the final grade changes. This sheet is called Play Around because I just want you to change the numbers and see how the grade changes. In the end, you're going to leave it so that only 2 of the categories, if you want, have 100. You're going to try to kind of predict, like, how am I going to do in this class? And you're going to see how your final grade is going to end up, right? You haven't done anything yet except for attend class, but I want you to just put in some numbers and play around, see how your grade's going to end up, all right? I put a little note here about average scores from a previous semester so you can get some context about how hard the exams are, right? Getting a 90 on an exam is not an easy thing to do. The average score for last semester, for the first attempt, no, sorry, this isn't last semester, it'd be fall, would be a 51, right? That's how hard this is. But after people did retakes, then the median was a 71. We'll talk a little bit more about mean and median later. But that gives you some perspective about how hard the exams are. The next page is showing you the 2 different scales. So I talked about this at the beginning as one of the ways that I tried to build in a different way for people to succeed. People who aren't, who are going to struggle with tests and quizzes. I have retakes, but I also have this different grading system. Still adds up to 100%, but I've just said different things are more important. And your job in this sheet is not to change anything on the left, but to say stuff here about these questions, okay? When you start typing, it'll overwrite whatever is in there. Now, when you start, it's going to be blank, so it's no big deal. But one of the things that tends to happen is people will start writing, and then they'll go back, and then they'll start writing again, and they'll realize, oh, wait, I just lost everything that I had. So one important thing that you need to know about your computer is there's an undo button. In Excel here, they've got this button here, which is undo. I like to use the Control-Z or Command-Z if you're on a Mac for undoing things because it's a nice tool to get me back to stuff that I lost. So it's kind of a nice little shortcut. So you're going to answer that. Now, when you finish that, you're done with Excel 0. This is a freebie assignment, so it's not actually worth any points. So if you don't do it, you're not penalized. But if you do it, you're getting extra credit, essentially. You're going to email it to me. There's no way to submit it online. Normally, in Excel assignments, you just submit them using the Ivy Learn. But here I want you to email, and that's partly because I want you to go look at your student email if you haven't looked at it before.